This video contains content that may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. As we in America prepare for another spike in this coronavirus, they tell us to, hey, put on your mask, wear gloves, social distance. But they really just haven't given a good explanation as to how the coronavirus is actually spread. How did it come from China to Italy, Europe, down to America? How did it actually get here? And then how is it actually spread? I mean, if a person doesn't have the coronavirus, and he's around another person that doesn't have the coronavirus, and one of them ends up with the coronavirus, how did he catch it? There is something that you don't know about this coronavirus as we don't know. And there's something that the Chinese government knows that just may the American government know, but they're not telling us. They're not sharing this information with us as to actually how this coronavirus is spread. But, I have my ideas because, as I said, I've been kind of keeping up with this coronavirus deal for the past couple of months, obviously. And I've learned a few things. One thing I've learned is that America does not know what the hell is going on. You have to remember, we don't make nothing anymore. We depend on Chinese and foreign scientists and doctors. We don't depend on our own American-made doctors anymore. They'll get one of these foreign doctors to defect and come over here to America, and they start working for America. But I've learned that America does not know diddly squat. And I've watched what China has done during this coronavirus outbreak in their own country. And one thing they did was shut down the media, which America is kind of doing because they're not giving out factual information. But one of the first things I noticed was that in China, they wore hazmat suits. They just didn't have on a damn face mask and some gloves. I mean, their whole body was protected, whereas not 1 inch of their body will be able to come in contact with the coronavirus. Maybe that's why it's spreading so bad, because when these doctors and nurses and people work at the hospital come in contact with these people that have the coronavirus, they don't discard the clothes. They go home with their clothes they came to work with. And there it is, wherever they go in between work and home, they're going to spread the coronavirus. Maybe unknowingly and maybe knowingly, we just never know. This is one of the hospitals in Wuhan, and I'm telling you, this thing looks like an old city jail. That does not look like any of the hospitals I've seen or any hospital that I would want to be in. My brother was talking to me about how the people in China was going back to work. I said, you have to remember, China is a communist country. They got to go back to work. They will force their people to put smiles on their faces. Hey, but smile for the camera. Look like you're having fun. So I do not trust China one bit, but I'm just noticing the difference in how they dress to protect themselves from the coronavirus. And we as regular citizens, we should have these hazmat type suits. I mean, if that's what it's all about. Evidently, this coronavirus is in the air, and people have to protect themselves by wearing these hazmat suits. I never see them without them, only the regular people. But the government officials, they have on these hazmat suits. Another thing I've noticed that they do in China that they do not do here in America is they pressure wash everything. They pressure wash the building, inside and out. They pressure wash the streets. they getting the stuff out of there. But the sad thing about it is it's going back into the water system. So maybe that's an issue. Maybe that's why they're having this rebound with a second wave of this coronavirus in China. So while they are telling everyone to wash their hands and for us to be cleansed, what about these facilities where these people go to have this coronavirus? Are they cleansed daily? I mean, they should be cleansed daily because I just feel as if this disease is that contagious, when that person gets out of their car or whatever vehicle they're traveling in to go inside one of these test sites, hospitals, they are spreading the disease. And as I say, if these people in China have one of these hazmat suits, whereas the virus cannot come in contact with no parts of their body or clothing, or maybe America should, I mean, we just rethink this thing because I just see that you don't know what you're doing. I mean, it's to the point now I'm scared to drive by, just driving by a hospital or wherever they might have these testing sites, because I am avoiding all of those places. Another thing I've noticed is that they spray the workers with this disinfectant spray. I'm wondering what is in that disinfectant because, it's evidently it's not harming them, but it's killing something. Did Chinese share that formula with you? Did they let you know what they are using since they're the one that let this damn disease out? Did they at least tell you that? And if they did tell you that, why don't you tell the public? Maybe we can buy this stuff and start sanitizing the proper way. It's just like an arrogant person. They are too arrogant to ask for help. They'd rather make mistake after mistake, try and figure it out, than to ask this person standing right next to them that knows what should they do. And now, here it is, they're talking about how many black people are dying from the coronavirus, how we are getting it, how we, because of stress or whatever, we just might get it. Well, if you're that concerned about black people, why don't you put some damn hazmats in the mail along with those stimulus checks if you're really concerned about us? As a matter of fact, I think all Americans, period, we should petition for them to send us a damn hazmat suit. And please, don't get it from China. Our new black token Attorney General, which sounds a little like Daffy Duck, he has something to say. And I'm going to let him say what he got to say before I say what I got to say.
Well, in New York City, Hispanics represent the majority of deaths. In Milwaukee County, blacks are 25% of the population, but almost 50% of the cases and 75% of the deaths. So what's going on? Well, it's alarming, but it's not surprising that people of color have a greater burden of chronic health conditions. African Americans and Native Americans, develop high blood pressure at much younger ages.
First of all, you need to take care of that dry cough you have. You just may have that COVID-19. But when you say that Native Americans and African American youths may suffer from high blood pressure, well, could it be maybe from the stressful lifestyle that Native Americans and blacks have to live? I mean, what is it for a child to see their parents being arrested or to be gunned down, or a friend of theirs being gunned down, or a neighbor, or just for them to see it, period? The average black person's life is stressful. There's a lot of uncertainty going on in the lives of black people. We don't know how long the job is going to last. We don't know if we'll be able to pay the rent. Our just day-to-day lives is full of uncertainty. So that could be a reason for the high blood, but that doesn't give a good reason as to how blacks or Native Americans, as you say, Hispanics, have contracted the coronavirus in the first place by us not being in damn China. So explain that.
It's less likely to be under control and does greater harm to their organs. Puerto Ricans have higher rates of asthma, and black boys are 3 times as likely to die of asthma as their white counterparts. As a matter of fact, I've been carrying around an inhaler in my pocket for 40 years out of fear of having a fatal asthma attack. And I hope that showing you this inhaler shows little kids with asthma all across the country that they can grow up to be Surgeon General one day.
All of that stuff that you are talking, what does that have to do with the coronavirus and how black people catch the coronavirus? This is some type of propaganda. This is some type of prepared speech for you to read. And I don't trust anybody, especially a black person, that Trump has hired to say any damn thing.
The chronic burden of medical ills is likely to make people of color, especially, less resilient to the ravages of COVID-19, and is possibly, in fact, likely that the burden of social ills is also contributing.
Whoop, there it is. Social. I guess he's saying the way black people interact socially is life-threatening, and hey, that is the reason why you are catching this coronavirus, because how we interact socially. And I just don't, this man is full of shit. And this is some type of plot, I'm telling you, to keep people away from each other. There you go, beeping, but you can't come in. Let me hear what the rest of this man got to say.
But let me be crystal clear. We do not think people of color are biologically or genetically predisposed to get COVID-19. There is nothing inherently wrong with you. But they are socially predisposed to coronavirus exposure and to have a higher incidence of the very diseases that put you at risk for severe complications of coronavirus.
There he goes again, socially predisposed to the coronavirus. I want someone to explain that to me. I'm missing something right here. What is the difference between how black people interact socially and with everybody else? What is the big difference? I just don't see it. But evidently, he is here to push some type of agenda. And let's see what this puppet has to say.
Stay at home if possible. If you must go out, maintain 6 feet of distance between you and everyone else, and wear a mask if you're going to be within 6 feet of others. Wash your hands more often than you ever dreamed possible. Avoid alcohol, tobacco, and drugs.
Now, what the hell does alcohol, tobacco, and drugs have to do with it? There you go, just insinuating like all black people are a bunch of damn dope fiends. And I know that is true. Are you a fucking dope fiend? You black, I guess. This is all about controlling the lives of the people and telling them what they can and can't do without being questioned. And we are falling for it hook, line, and sinker.
And call your friends and family. Check in on your mother. She wants to hear from you right now.
Man, what the hell is this fool talking about? Your mama want to hear from it? I mean, it's evident he's reading something. Because nobody in their right mind would say some stupid ass shit like that.
And speaking of mothers, we need you to do this, if not for yourself, then for your abuela. Do it for your granddaddy. Do it for your big mama. Do it for your pop-pop. We need you to understand, especially in communities of color, we need you to step up and help stop the spread so that we can protect those who are most vulnerable.
First of all, I don't think this guy is a foundational black American. It's like one of these damn immigrant ass niggas. And, hey, that speech that you just spoke, you just should have left that where it was, man, in someone else's mind. I do not trust not one black person that Donald Trump has up there to speak on behalf of black people, especially with this fool Kanye West. I mean, every black person he has says something stupid. You got Ben Carson walking around there talking like he's been taking his own damn drugs. It's just going to take forever for him to come down off that damn high, because this man sure does say some stupid ass shit. For him to be a damn brain surgeon, he should start with his own damn brain first. That guy Paris Nord, I'm glad they don't. I don't watch TV anymore. Maybe that's why I don't see his smug face anymore. But every black person that Trump has talking is just like each one of those guys. Paris Nord, Kanye West, and who this boy he is, I have no idea. And it is something about black men that have those type of hairlines. They are not to be trusted by another black person. If you white, you can trust him. A black guy with a hairline just like that. And when Donald Trump first came in campaigning on a border wall, I'm like, say, man, something is up. Why is he just campaigning and harping on a damn border wall? And I thought about it. When they build these fences, it's not to keep people out, it's to keep people in. These brick walls and stuff they have around prisons, that's to keep the prisoners in. That's not to keep you out. So when they started denying passports, I said, oh, here it is, fellas. It's on. You know, the rules are going to be so just out there. People are going to do their best to try to leave America, and it's going to be denied. That's why he was building these damn border walls. And you look up, now everyone is shutting down the borders. And when you try to leave, and they won't let you leave, you are a damn prisoner. And people, they jumped and shouted for joy when Donald Trump came into the seat. But they didn't know that Donald Trump, he's the one that is going to destroy America as you knew and loved it. You can forget about that America. That America is long gone. You know, when they started erecting those satanic statues up, it's no surprise to me the things that are taking place right now. It's all about control and getting you to get out of your old way of doing things. They're trying to do away with God and religion. They're trying to do away with love and compassion. I was just wondering, how much are those hazmat suits anyway? I see that the problem just may be that people are going around the world digging up old ancient burial sites, not knowing what's in the ground. Maybe years ago there was some epidemic and they had some type of mass burial. And here it is, thousands of years later, you're going to dig it up and release a new plague, well, not a new plague, but an old plague upon the land. It's just like when you throw away trash. You're throwing it away because there's a reason. It's trash. So when people bury things, it is for a reason. It is not for you to come back and dig it up. There are some things on this planet that should just be left alone. As you have noticed, they are trying to make black people the face of the coronavirus. And there is some evil plot behind this plan. I suspect that they're going to try to have these forced vaccinations so they can continue this job of feminizing black males and killing off our race. It is just time for blacks, especially ones here in America, to take a stance. I've often heard younger people say how the older people rolled over and they were scared to fight when it was time for them to fight. Well, all of those people that you spoke of are dead and gone. And now it is your time. So are you going to fight or are you going to die? From their plans, you are going to die anyway. So you might as well go out swinging.